that a lot did get accomplished over the last year with the SOPs and the KPIs and all the progress, since COVID. So, but I did want to just say one thing, that in our bylaws, we, in Article 6, directors, regular meetings, action by the board at the meeting, the board shall not take any action on any item of business outside of the meeting. Further, the board shall not conduct a meeting via a series of electronic transmissions, including but not limited to email, except to conduct an emergency meeting. As used herein, items of business means any action within the authority of the board, and meeting means any congregation of a majority of the board at the same time to hear, discuss, or deliberate upon any item of business that is within the authority of the board, conducted in compliance with applicable law. This is what we do. We have a meeting, we make motions according to the business, and then we debate and deliberate. That is the function of what we do. And we should not end debate until it is exhausted, until it's complete and we've gone around and then we're starting to repeat. Well, then it needs to end possibly, but not before that. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Casey. And Director Torn, would you like to address the community for 2 minutes, please?
Yes, I've been here about 6+ years on the board, and I'm really sorry to say I haven't really accomplished too much. Okay, things like quality. I cannot convince VMS to perform quality services. We have so many complaints, and all those work requests are about quality. Many of them are related to quality services. They are not there. Okay, look at the landscape. Okay, everybody's complaining about it. Yes, they have all kinds of excuses. But, other people, other communities, they can do that. Why can't we do that? That's a question, okay? We have no quality. I've been trying to tell them to do better quality, but they have all kinds of excuses not to do that. I told them there's no project management, so there's no follow-up on the project. Like, for example, our solar panel project, where is the money saved? Are we wasting money on that? What happened to that? Okay, and there's no surplus in the balance in the assessment calculation. All these surpluses are just disappeared. Okay, so where are they? Oh, it's hidden there somewhere. It's hidden there somewhere. No, we want to explicitly state it in our assessment calculation and let us know where are the surplus money. And also, there's no software implementation. All the software failed. Okay, those software all failed because we have no software implementation expert. I am a software implementation expert, but I'm not allowed to go to any of those meetings to tell them how to do it right based on the industry standards. KPMG, Oracle, they have standard practice. We are not following any of them. We are just throwing it in like quick book and then see what happened. If it doesn't work, let's try this one, That's why you see all the problems there. I'm sorry that I have tried for 6 years, but I just cannot make it happen.
Thank you, Director Torn. Your time is up.
Okay,
I'd like to
thank you very much.
Item 8 on our approved agenda, the introduction of the continuing directors. I'd like to mention Director Kash Akrakar, Director Azar Asghari, Director Reza Bastani, Director Lenny Ross, Director Maggie Blackwell, Director Pat English, Director Pearl Lee, and Director and Chair Anthony Liberatore. Now let's move on to 9. I want to introduce the newly elected directors for a 3-year term, and that, again, Diane Casey was reelected. And her term will expire in 2026. Director Mary Simon was elected, and her term is 2025. And so with Director Casey, 2025, and Thomas Tooney, 2025. So can I ask Director Torn to leave kiosk, please, and the new directors take their place.
Thank you very much for your support.
And by the way, I forgot to ask you to make sure your phones are on silent or vibrate. Thank you. Are we good to go, Paul? Okay. All right, let's move on to item 10. This is members' comments. Do we have anything?
Yes, we do. The first speaker is Maxine McIntosh.
Maxine, you have the floor.
Good morning, neighbors, one and all. This meeting always feels so good. It's always like the beginning. It's like New Year's Day, the beginning of a fresh year. It's wonderful to see the people who are giving their time and the ones who have been newly elected. It's wonderful to have you here. I have one thing I'd like to bring to your attention that maybe you can address at one of your board meetings, and that is the lack of advertisement about what is going on. I remember the first, oh goodness, I won't say how many years, maybe 15 years we lived here. We had our annual meeting over at Clubhouse 3 because it was so big. And we had 2 microphones for the people that wanted to come up and share their questions or their compliments. There were compliments, there were questions, there were complaints, but people had a chance to be heard just like they are in a regular board meeting. And the auditorium would be about half full, and that seats, I believe, over 800. And I really feel a big part of this is because we no longer have the globe in the building. When the globe was here in the building, everyone was aware of it. And people dropped in and gave them news. And it was easier for them to send a reporter for part of a meeting. And now they're so far away, they're not involved very much. And I think this has slid into something accidentally, and that the board needs to devise a subcommittee to look at the problem of how we can increase the advertisement in the Globe. Just try looking at Thursday's Globe and finding what has been said about this meeting. We used to have it on the front page, and there'd be photographs of people who were going to be put in a new seat on the board and so forth. And it was really blown up as something important, which it is. And we've lost that. And you can have all the computers you want in the world, it won't take the place of the Globe. And so please, I hope you will consider that. And I wish all of you a wonderful year. Please let me know if there's any way I can be helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, Maxine. Next, Michaela.
Yes, next speaker is Sally Herrick.
Good morning. There was an advertisement in the Globe just last week about refinancing your co-op, and you can do a 10% down. Children qualify for elderly parents, same as owner-occupied rates. When I called that number, they called me back and said, effective August 2021, United has disavowed any loans on co-ops. Why? There is a need here for people that are on set incomes at some times to refinance, to get their children involved. And why would the board cut that off? Was there a public information sent out? Was there votes by the co-op members? The other thing I ask about is the service of the telephones. I have a first alert here, and it doesn't always work. And my telephone doesn't always work. Sometimes I'm in the middle of a call from a doctor and it drops off. I called AT&T and they said we need another cell tower. This community is of elderly people and they can't afford to not have good service on their phone or on their emergency alert. What is the board going to do about that so you do not put lives in jeopardy? Thank you.
Thank you
What
very
is your
much.
manual number, Sally?
3 H's in Henry. It's 3 Via Castilla, Unit H is in Henry.
3H.
Yes.
Did I get, and what is the building number?
3.
Oh, number 3, sorry.
Okay.
Building 3, Unit H.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next one,
Would
Kayla.
this be addressed in open session, or when would
Well,
I be?
it's going to be in our meeting notes, and then at the next meeting of the board, it will go into our prep, and it will be put on, at the discretion of the directors, it would be put on our agenda for the next meeting.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Mary Stone.
Mary, you have the floor.
Thank you. Mary Stone, 356C. I'd like to thank the board for their service and welcome to the new board members. I hope you enjoy your service. It's going to be a lot of work, but hopefully that, and if you need any assistance or historical information, you can contact me. Today I have something kind of trash talk. I'd like to do a little trash talk here. I overlook a garbage area, the trash bins are there. I see them through my kitchen window. I look over there and I see a gardener every other week dumping a lot of cuttings, weeds and stuff, and it half fills up the garbage bin for the, landfill. I see the people going to the organic waste bin, and the flies are coming around, and it stinks. It's disgusting. I also see people throwing their big, big boxes, cartons in the landfill. I mean, our people are not understanding how to deal with trash. How can we get the message across? Please, if we have to send flyers door to door, I'm willing to take the flyers around. And please, let's put it in multiple languages because not everybody speaks English in this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Michaela?
Yes, next speaker is Andre Torn.
Torn? Andre Torn? Mr. Torn, you have the floor.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak about the latest incidents that I'm encountered with VMS and the United Board. Okay, recently, VMS and the United Board took me to the court for restraining order. And they are claiming that I harassed them. They are claiming that I need to be restricted because they are fear that I may kill them. Bring a gun to their house in the night. It's Blackwell, Director Blackwell stated that.
You're out of order. You're
Okay.
not to mention anybody's name. You're to direct the chair, and you know that rule.
Yes. I just want to make sure that it's the same as the script says. Okay, the court orders script. Okay, so I will bring up this one, and they are VMS board directors Wei Ming Tao and her husband also accused me.
You're out of order.
Okay,
You're out
and
of
so
order.
they are.
Now you keep it up, and I'm going to diminish your time. Now follow the rules.
Okay, so they are saying, I'm strong and I'm agile and I'm angry. They are afraid that I may go to their house and kill them. Okay, that's what they claim. However, the judge saw through that. After all the testimonies, before I even get on the testimony, okay, the court, the judge dismissed that case. In a sense, the plaintiff, all these board directors And also, we have the GM and the security chief. They all testified, but all their testified defeat their own case. Okay, and also, so I will publish this one and share the transcript with everybody. How this kind of frivolous lawsuit, I didn't even need to go up and talk, and they defeat themselves. Okay, this is how much money we wasted there. From what I understand, they wasted probably $20,000, $50,000, not counting the VMS side. Okay, so and they all going to charge to you, everybody. Okay, because they just don't know the law. Okay, and also the judge said there's a freedom of speech right. You don't like it? That's fine, but I have the right to freedom of speech. Okay, you cannot claim that's harassment if you don't like just because you don't like it. Okay, and also judge also said that homeowners has the right to attend meetings, no matter what status. Right now, VMS is forbidding me to go to the meeting, to go to committee meeting, and make up the case, talk about case of wasting money, quality problems, project management, waste money on software implementation, and all those wasting, all the complaints from the residents. We just don't have a way to handle it. That's a GM's problem.
Your time
GM
is
needs
up,
to take care
Director
of that.
Torn. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Michaela, anybody else?
Yes, last speaker is Richard Rader.
Mr. Rader, you have the podium.
I want to welcome the new board members. Statements are often made here that millions have been lost or misplaced. At numerous meetings, the VMS office, finance officers accounted for all these funds. In addition, every year, a national accounting firm comes in and scrutinizes our finances. And since I've lived here for 12, 13 years now, they have never reported any misappropriation or lost funds. The funds that sometimes are referred to as lost, they're not lost, they're placed into operational or reserve funds. So please understand that there are no lost monies.
Thank you. Mr. Rader, Michaela?
And that is all for member comments.
Thank you, Michaela. All right, so we'll go on to number 11, response to speakers, and I'm going to give our new directors a chance to respond. Let's start from left to right. Tom Tooney.
I have no comments at this time.
Thank you. Mary Simon,
I have no comments right now.
turn your mic on.
I did. I have no comments right now. I
Okay,
have
thank
to.
you. Director Kash Akrakar.
Well, thank you, everybody, for chance to serve you. And my term expires next year, so I'm still available if I can be of any help to any of you, the residents. Thank you.
Director Lenny Ross.
I was going to respond to the resident who talked about the issue of refinancing. And that issue I think it's been about 6 months ago, the issue is this. Basically, our property insurance values that we have for United are not at full replacement cost. They're much lower than full replacement cost. And some of that is because of cost. A lot of it is because of cost. But if you're under replacement costs, full replacement costs, you can't qualify for federally insured loans into your community. And as a result, all of the NCB who used to loan for refinancing, who used to loan money for new buyers, had to pull out, had to withdraw, because we didn't meet the replacement cost requirement, and we still don't. And if we wanted to increase to full coverage, it would cost every resident about $100 more on their homeowner's fees. And we could do that, but the feeling was that that would create a whole nother issue. So we are looking at other opportunities, other ways of bringing loans back into our community because we realize there's a definite need for new buyers as well as new borrowers who need to borrow money against their units. So we are looking at other options. And I just wanted to make you aware of that. But that's the reason. And we probably should have given out more information when that happened to the community. So they're in full understanding of why that happened. But that's the issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Ross. Director Diane Casey.
Yes, I'm just going to mention a couple other things that Lenny was talking about in that they revalued our entity, based on, all the fires and things that were happening. So they bumped us up to $1.5 billion. That's what our value is. Even if we wanted to get insurance for $1.5 billion, there's nobody that's going to give it to us. They will only give, a certain amount, I think like 250 million or 525 million. I mean, you can't, it's a group of people that take different pieces of the pie, but they're not going to give us that much. And Fannie Mae wants full replacement. And so, and NCB fought and they tried to stay in there. And, I'm sure there's lobbies, like I always say wrong, CAI is a lobby that helps us. Lenny's on an insurance committee that is looking at different ways to insure. So it is an issue. And the problem with even getting another type of loan, we can't use our stock certificate as collateral, So it's a difficult situation because we're a co-op, So then I did just want to say, to answer Mary Stone, is that, in the beginning, when we first got those trash cans, we were complaining. And so it's still not fixed. And it is messy and smelly. But I know somebody over there was maybe going to talk about it. But, it's something that we've got to fix. I mean, I understand why we have to do the things we do, because we can't be putting everything in the landfill. And, we have to be better at it, and we have to get educated and learn and use disposable, biodegradable bags for that trash can for our food waste, So, thank you.
Thank you, Director Diane Casey. Director Reza Bastani.
No comment.
No comment. Director Maggie Blackwell.
Yes, thank you. Let's see. The trash bins are a problem, but in cul-de-sac 37, it's improving. It's improving. Not only have the lower bins made it much easier. I mean, it's still tough for me, but it's much easier. And they are being careful and trying to keep the organic bin in a certain place and not have it dragged away. And they're trying to keep people from dumping all their plant refuse in there, which would fill it up. As to the breaking up of the boxes, the more we use Amazon, the more we have boxes. And we can't ask the Amazon delivery guy to break down the box. That's a fault with Amazon, is they won't break down the box for you. And so people get these large boxes and they don't know what to do with them, and they throw them out there, and they certainly do fill up the bin in a matter of just a couple of days. So we will have to work on that. Maybe we'll have to hire some dancers to jump in there and jump on. I don't know. As to Director Torn, yes, the judge did not give us the 4-year restraining order. And yes, indeed, last Thursday about 3:30, you did strike a security guard in the chest.
No.
Thank you. Here, in this room? No. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
No,
incorrect.
is the wrong information.
You don't have the floor, Director Ascari. That's a lie. I'm running this meeting. If I have any outbursts, I'm going to get security in here to clear it out. So pay attention to me. I am the chair. Director Lee, you have the floor.
Good morning. First of all, I would like to thank those going out officers for their dedication serving as a mutual director, and I would also like to welcome new directors. I've just finished 1 year as a new director, and when I look back, one single most important thing to me as a director is to attend the meeting, because we have a lot of serious business, but without attending the meeting, we cannot get involved. So it is very, very important not only to attend the board meeting, but also the committee meetings. On September 23rd, we had a special meeting to open up the ballot, start ballot counts. We could not start the meeting because we didn't have quorum. That is one single important event, annual event, that all the directors should know. But we could not start the meeting because we didn't have enough directors that are present. So we had to postpone the meeting and try to get hold of any director and ask them please to come in Zoom so we can at least get the meeting going. There were election crews who were waiting here for us to start the meeting. And luckily, one director offered to come in on Zoom. So finally, that director actually saved the day. And without that help, I don't even know what would happen to our election. That was how important that was. So I feel that I'm not making these comments to blame anybody, but I think we should make a practice. If we cannot make to the meetings, we should notify the president or the committee chair. That's the least we can do, and that is part of our responsibility. That has not been observed last 12 months. And I cannot emphasize enough about our duties as a mutual directors to attend the meeting or notify, because we do have emergency situations where we can all understand, but we must communicate with the committee chair and the president and give respect to this board. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Lee. Director Ascari.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I would like to thank the hard work of 6 years working in the board. It's a lot of hours that you are putting, and it deserves a great thanks to Director Andre Tong and also to Director Neda Ardani. We really appreciate their help and their expertise, and I encourage more younger and kind of with new people with experience comes to the board. And number two, I would like to talk about what Director Lee says. Yes, I agree. It is very important that director comes to the meeting. A director that has a health issue and for 4 months have not been in any committee and is not even living in Laguna Woods and is in the facility care. The question is, should be still a director? Should be still be there? Should be still, that's my question from residents. Can she, if she is in facility care and cannot control her own household, can she control $1 million on behalf of the residents? Is it possible or not? And I agree with Director Lee that if you want to apply for the board, please make sure that you can be there. And if in the middle of the board you feel you are not, at least be fair and resign and let some people that they can. It is a hard job. It is a hard job. I study most of the time until 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, its finance is different, but not every committee has. But it needs time. That's for this. And I agree with Director Lee what says. And number three, I want to talk about, already talk about the garbage can, but as an educator, I know the value of education. We have TV, we can make like 30 second, 40 second, like those ads, then shows non-stop in the TV how to put the garbage in different and not put those cutting trees or bushes in the garbage. This needs education, and we have all the information and all the tools here to make it possible. I think this issue should be every time in the WhatsApp in the village. That's free. It doesn't matter how many articles you put it when you send it by email to all residents. And why that not be all the time for reviewing? And as we get older and we might forget, this week I remember, might be next week I don't remember.
Thank
So
you,
in that
Director.
case, that. And then there is no timing. Everybody talk more
Thank you,
than
Director
that.
Ask. Director English, do you have anything?
That's another problem.
Director English, do you have anything to say?
Yes, I do. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody all through the year that has been working hard on some of these problems, and especially the one that Diane and Mr. Ross brought up about not having funding. It's very important, and we've got to get that funding back again one way or another. But we certainly can't afford to put all the money up front for reserves or anything like that. We can't afford that. That would break us, period. So anyway, we've got to all work together. And as far as my status is concerned, I do have a house here, which I am intending to live in there as soon as I can get the paperwork to do it. And it belongs to me and no one else. And it's part of Laguna Woods. Thank you.
Thank you, Director English. That concludes the response from open forum speakers, and so this meeting is adjourned, and we'll start a meeting in 10 minutes, which gives us a chance to get ready for the elections. Thank you for your attendance. Let's come to order. I call to order the United 47th Organizational Meeting of the Board of Directors of United Laguna Woods Mutual, a California nonprofit mutual benefit corporation, Tuesday, October the 11th, 2022. It's 10:17. All the directors have a copy of the agenda. Do I have an approval of the agenda? A motion made by Director Diane Case to approve the agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Maggie Blackwell. The agenda is approved as written. Number 3, approval of the minutes. Are the directors, are any omissions, deletions, or corrections to the minutes from October 12, 2021? I see no hands, so those minutes are accepted. Thank you. For the election of officers by opening the nominations and vote. So we're first going to open up the nominations for president. Do I have any hands? Director Pearl Lee.
I would like to nominate Anthony Liberatore for president.
Thank you. And if elected, I will accept. Any other nominations for president? Director Reza Bastani.
I nominate Mr. Ross for president.
Microphone.
Thank you. I nominate Mr. Ross for
So
president.
Director Bastani has nominated Director Lenny Ross for president. Any other hands?
I want to second Mr. Tony for president.
Thank you. Thank you, Director English. Director Ross, will you serve for us, or are you going to serve for GRF?
I'll serve for United.
Thank you. All right, and any more nominations? Move to close for the nomination for president. Do I have a move to close that nomination? Director Blackwell moves to close the nomination for the seat of president. Do I have a second? Director Lee seconds that motion. So the motion to open for the president, to vote for the president of United for the coming year is on the floor. And Michaela, what are we going to do here? We're going to vote. No, I got one, sorry. All right, Michaela, do you want me to go through the whole slate and then hand them in? Is that the way you want to do it?
Yes, so each of you will write down the representative you would like to elect as president for United, and then we will come by and pick each one of those papers up, and we'll count them and then notify you who it is that's elected.
Okay. So we're going to do them one at a time, is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you for your votes. Director Lenny Ross has been elected as president of United.
Come to order. Director Ross, you can assume the chair.
6-5.
Okay. I guess we should continue with the first vice president. So do you want to pass out, or do we have nominations for the first vice president? Diane?
Yeah, I nominate Maggie Blackwell.
Microphone, sorry. Thank you.
I nominate Maggie Blackwell.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you. Pat seconded. Any other nominations for first vice president?
I would like to nominate Tom Tuning for the first vice president.
Any seconds? Second for Tom Tuning.
You can second it.
I'll second it. Any other nominations for first vice president? Okay, so
I'd like to nominate Diane. What's your last name, Diane?
No, I'm not going to take that. No.
You won't take it?
No.
The directors who were nominated, we do need you to formally accept those nominations as well.
I do.
I accept.
Thank you. I'll come around with the secret ballots.
Mr. President, I'd like to ask a question.
Sure.
Where are the list of people that are running?
Yeah, so your options are Director Sweeney
Yes.
or Director Maggie Blackwell.
That's the one
So you're not going to be looking at this.
So what do you look at?
So it's either Thomas Tuning Recycling or Maggie Blackwell. So yes, there's one of those.
I just don't think that's correct, that they shouldn't have a list of people. that
that's
we-
for first vice president. There were only two people nominated for first vice president, Tom Tuning and Maggie. Maggie, I'm sorry, Maggie.
We're not going to have a kid because it's just nominated.
So vote for them.
Okay, so we have Director Thomas Tuning elected for first vice president of the United Board. And the total was 6 to 4 to 1.
So, Tom, you could take the seat here if you want. It's up to you. The next office is second vice president. Do I have any nominations for second vice president?
Mr. Chair, I nominate Director Cash Ackroyd.
I have a nomination.
Okay. Azar.
Well, does Mr. Cash accept?
Second vice president?
And I want to nominate.
Are you
Reza
running the
Bastani.
meeting, or is the new president running the meeting?
Yeah, we do have to know if there's a second first.
Okay.
To-
I would like to nominate.
There
Reza-
are no seconds needed. I'm sorry to interrupt. We just need someone to make a motion.
Okay.
And then that person who was nominated needs to elect, or needs to accept the appointment.
Okay, so Cash, do you accept that position if you're elected? Okay. Okay, Azar.
I would nominate Reza Bastani.
Okay.
I accept.
Reza, you accept that, right? Okay.
I would like to nominate Maggie Blackwell.
I'll second that.
Maggie, you'll accept that if you're elected? Okay. So the three candidates are Cash, Reza, and Maggie. Vote for one of those three people, please.
Thank you for your votes. Director Reza Bastani is elected as the second vice president for the United Board with a total of 5 to 4 to 2. Thank you. Maggie Blackwell with 4 and Cash Atrakar with 2.
Okay, congratulations, Reza. Next office is treasurer.
No,
Board Secretary.
Board secretary.
Oh, board secretary. Okay, board secretary. Do I have any nominations for board secretary?
Yeah, I have a nomination.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to nominate Mary Simon.
Okay. Any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Maggie Blackwell.
I second it.
You can nominate yourself.
Okay.
You don't need a
Director,
second.
No
She just
second.
Lenny,
says-
will you
No,
take
sir.
charge of this meeting, please?
You don't need a second.
So we don't need seconds. I've been corrected already. So the two people, any other nominations for secretary? Okay, so the two people are Maggie and Mary. You need to vote for one of those two.
Mary, do you
Mary-
accept
Mary Simon.
the nomination? Yes. Okay, thank you.
And Maggie would accept it too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for your votes. We have Director Mary Simon as the new secretary for the United Board with a total of 8-3.
Congratulations, Mary. Our next position, next officer is treasurer. It's the final officer. Any nominations for treasurer? Cash.
I nominate Azar.
Okay.
I will accept. Thank you.
Will accept. Okay. Maggie?
I nominate Diane Casey.
I accept.
Diane will accept.
I'd like to second that for Diane Casey.
I nominate Azar.
She's already been nominated. So, Azar and Maggie.
No, Diane.
Diane.
Yeah, Diane Casey, make sure you get that, Diane Casey, not Maggie. I mean, we don't want any wrong votes.
Okay, so the two people that are nominated are Azar and Diane. So please vote for one of those two people.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all. We have Director Azar Asghari as treasurer for the United Board with a total of 6-5.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations, Azar. I'd like to congratulate all of the officers who were elected today and welcome them to our new organization. And I'd like to entertain a motion to close nominations. Do I have
I second it.
Reza? Okay. Second?
Second.
Azar? Okay. So nominations are closed. Announcement of 2023 ex officio officers are Lenny Ross as president, Tom Tuning as first vice president, Reza Bastani as second vice president.
These are ex-office officer.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Ex-officers.
So I think Shivan should.
Oh, Shaban, do you want to?
The resolution is the last page of the organizational packet.
Oh, okay, it's ex-officials. Okay.
Thank you.
So,
So Shivan, could you explain which one we're voting?
The president now has the resolution. Is he going to read it, or would he like someone to read it?
I guess she can be read by you.
Okay.
I'll give you the right.
The title is Appointment of Officers. Resolved on October 11th, 2022, pursuant to the United Laguna Woods Mutual Bylaws, Article 9, which sets guidelines, terms, and responsibilities for the selection of officers to this corporation, the following persons are hereby elected to the office indicated next to their names to serve. Lenny Ross, President. Thomas Tuning, First Vice President. Reza Bastani, Second Vice President. Mary Simon, Secretary. Azar Asghari, Treasurer. Resolved further that the following staff persons is hereby appointed as ex officio officers of this corporation. Siobhan Foster, Vice President ex officio. Carlos Rojas, Assistant Secretary ex officio. Steve Hormuth, Assistant Treasurer ex officio. Resolved further that Resolution 01-21-62, adopted October 12, 2021, is hereby suspended and canceled. Resolved further that the officers and agents of this corporation are directed on behalf of the corporation to carry out this resolution.
Thank you.
We need a motion and a vote, please.
I'll make a motion.
Motion.
What
First
Shivan
motion.
read?
Azar first, and do I have a second? Second by Mary.
And then we need to vote.
All those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. All those opposed?
I abstain.
Any abstentions? One. Two.
Director Liberatore, what is your vote? Okay.
Motion passed.
At this point, if there's nothing else, I think I'm going to adjourn the meeting.
Number 7? No,
Oh,
it's
number
already
7.
done.
Okay, I'm sorry. Entertain a motion to approve resolutions for election of officers. Isn't that
Oh,
what
we just did. Oh,
just
I'm
did
sorry,
that?
I'm sorry. We just
Yeah.
did. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
so we're done.
So we're done.
Okay, so I'm going to adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much for attending.
Thank you.